Okay, in the last class we have seen all this kind of profilings. Actually, for the foreign key profiling and domain discovery profiling, we don't have a license for that, and so I'm skipping these concepts. The custom profiling means we have seen all these profile types, and the rule based profile, and the rule based profile, we created some rules, right? We created some rules, and we have already we seen that because of how the data will be if apply the rules on a source data. Already before to loading, we can able to see how suppose if the business rules are applicable on the source data, how the data would be. Already we have seen. For that, how to create these rules and all those things. Suppose initial profile has been done, and the business has given some rules, and they define some rules, and how to define that rules. Before to this rule creations, we need to know about one concept, reference tables. This reference tables will help to uh, cleanse the data and standardize the data. Let me note. Reference tables will have. Okay, reference tables will help to cleanse the data as well as standardize the data. Standardize the data. Refer let me show you how to create a reference tables. The reference tables we can create in a four ways. The first way we can create a reference tables through profile results, and the second way we can create a manually, and the second way we can import a reference tables from flat files, and the fourth thing, we can create a reference tables from importing a database. Let me show you in a different ways. Already we have seen profiles. Let me run this profile all customers. Okay. First way we can create reference tables through profile result. Two, can manually create reference tables and import reference data from files. And the fourth one, import reference data from database tables. Okay, these are the ways to create a reference tables. Let me run this profile. Let me customer tire. This is a filtered. Okay, profile all customers. These are no columns. I think we need to remove the filter. Open. Okay, I will remove the filter. Column definition. Okay. Now I removed a filter for to create a reference table. Yes, I'm saving this profile and I'm running this profile again. Results. Go to results. Still profile is running. Properties are not available. Yes. Okay. If you take this if you take this a profile, because already we have seen in at the time discussion of a profilings, because these are these are only my valid values. All rest of the values are. Is now okay, Varun? Hello, Varun, is now okay? Okay. Okay. Based upon the profile results, we can create a reference table. Yes, because after I had uh, profiled my source data, I, these are the these are valid values. I want to create and then next time in the future I want to pass only a valid values in the customer tag, because I don't want to parse the null 1 2 3. These are the not values. Business is defined as these are the not invalid values, so those values don't want to parse it. So for this I am selecting a profile results. Just i'm clicking on I'm right clicking, send to reference table, new reference table or existing reference table. This is a new reference tables. Just I'm clicking on a new reference tables. Send it to new reference table. Let me getting some issue. Let me close this tool and let me reopen this. Okay, closed and reopen this tool. Let me go to training, go to profiles and open the customer. Let me go to results. Okay, customer tab. Customer tab, these are the source file contains a different values, but business are defined only these are the valid values, and business has a defined, because in the customer tab only these are the values should be present. So just I'm selecting a, valid values, and just I'm right click on the selected part and send it to new reference table. Send it to new reference table, and the pop-up will appear for the wizard will appear. Wizard will pop up for create a reference table. Just give the name for a reference table. Reference table valid customer tire. Valid customer tire. Next, here it is a only one attribute, a customer tire, and the data type is a string and precision is scale. Finish. Okay, my now reference table is created. Reference table valid customer tag. This is the reference table. If you open, because the reference table, once we created a reference table, we can't modify the structure of the reference table. We can't modify the definition of the reference table. If you see this in a overview, if you see this in an overview, let 1 minute. Okay, once the reference table is created, we can't modify the reference table structure. Suppose if we want to modify, we have to re-import it. That's it. No way. Then we can modify the content of the reference table. Suppose if you look into this reference data, because these are the valid values, right? These are the valid values I sent to reference tables through profile result. Suppose if you want to add any new records, go to new, and you can create a reference table, create a new record. This is the way we can create a reference tables through profile results. And the second way we can create a reference table manually. how to create a reference table manually. Just click on this folder, just right click on this folder and select the appropriate object. I want to create a reference table. Just click on a reference table. Reference table as empty. Here, once you click on a reference table option, that wizard will show you reference table is as empty in the sense, because this is a manually create. We have to enter the records and manually. Reference table from flat file, and this is that we can import the reference data content from a flat file. A reference table from a relational source. First, let me create an empty reference table. Reference table manual customer tab. Yes, Varun. Hello.
Sir, how it will be helpful in real time, sir? Is it like a lookup?
Yes, right. It's a kind of lookup, but it's not a lookup table. It's a kind of lookup table only. But the lookup table is a different. This the reference table is a different. If we,
Okay.
yeah, if,
But how can we handle the invalid values in real time? Because it will allow the values present in the reference table, right?
yes, right.
So if the values not present in reference table, how can we handle?
Okay. Now the second way of creating a reference tables, manually creating a reference tables. Let me training. Just click on a folder and go to new and create a reference table. Reference table has empty. Next, give the appropriate name. Reference table manual city, not city. Uh, Manual. Give anything. Okay, manual. I'm taking a manual country. Okay, next. Here we need to give the, any reference table should contain two attributes. One is any manual reference table, either importing from file, either importing from a database. It should contain two attributes. Minimum are two attributes. One is a valid, one is a other one are the incoming values. Now let's take this example. Which one is a valid? The only one attribute will be the value, rest of all incoming values. Now this is my valid value. Now I am defining valid country, and the second one is in country in the sense input, incoming country. Okay, I'm just creating a reference tables with two attributes only. Any reference table should contain a minimum two attributes. One is a valid, and rest you can create n number of attributes. That is a no problem. Finish. My empty reference table is ready. Yes. Now look, this a reference table. Yes, these are the attributes. Once you created a definition, because it won't allow to modify the definition. But come to data. If you look into data, because there are no records, just I created a manually, there are no records. I want to enter a manual. I want to enter the contents manually. Let me go to profile results, country. In the source data, these are the different values present in the source data. I'm taking this is a the reference table US. Valid value is a USA in place U dot S dot. Next, U dot S dot A dot. U dot S dot A dot. Sorry, this is the valid value USA. U dot S dot A dot. Next, US. USA is a valid in place US. This is the reference table I created for a country in the manual way. Just save the reference table. Okay, I created it manually. Let me show you how to import a reference table from um, flat file. I'm taking reference notepad. Okay, I'm creating a reference table. Here I'm creating a reference tables with a multiple attributes. One is a valid country. Rest of will in country. One in country. Two in country. Three. You can add a n number of attributes. One is among them one is for a valid, and you can create a n number of attributes, n number of columns. That is no issue. What I am doing is USA is my valid, and U dot S dot. These are the different possible values. U dot S dot, U dot S dot, A dot, comma US, and also USA also, and also USA in dot country 4. Okay, file, save as country reference data. Country reference data. Okay, I'm importing that content. I'm importing that content from file. Just go to click on the folder, new reference table from flat file. Reference table from flat file. Flat file name on a desktop. Country reference data. Name country reference data. Actually, reference REFERENC reference table from flat file. Reference table, flat file, country reference data. Okay, this is just a name. And next, it's the same as a file import. import column names from line, first line, comma is a delimiter. Next, in this attributes, which is the valid value, we have to define which is the valid one among the that attributes. This is, I selected, this is my valid attribute, valid value. Finish. Okay, now the reference table is created, and go to data. And how this reference table helpful, because this reference table will replace it with a valid value with all these possible values. And the same way, this also will replace a valid value with this all the possible values. I'm creating another one, USA. Save. This is the way we can create a reference tables. Re- reference tables through profile results, manual creation, import a reference data from files, and import a data from a database also. It is the same thing. Just try yourself to import any reference data from a relational database. Now now the reference table concept is clear. Varun, you are clear the reference table concept? Okay. Now, mm, now I am going to rules. Rule is a nothing but a specific requirement, a piece of requirement. Rule is a nothing but a specific task, and it's a kind of a piece of requirement. How to create these rules? Rules we can create through a maplets. How to create a rule? Just let me show you this, how to create rules. Just click on a training folder, just go to new. You can see here a maplet. Don't confuse, because there is a no other object for a rule. Just we can create a rules through maplet designer only. Just click on a maplet, just give the name as a rule rule customer tire, TIER, customer tire. Already it is present. Customer tire 1. Okay, now I'm creating a rule customer tire 1. Finish. Now the maplet designer will open. I hope you know what is a maplet. Actually, we know the maplet. And here, what is the rule? Because we are creating a rule in a maplet. But why don't we create a maplet, and why don't we use that maplet wherever we want? Why do we want a rule? Because in the rule, there is a small difference in a rule and a maplet. In the maplet, we can use any of the transformation, either passive transformation, either active transformation. That maplet we can create with the active transformations as well as a passive transformations. But rule has a limitation. In the rule, we have to use only active transformations. Rule will allow you to only active transformations. And the second thing, in the maplet we can't call in the profiles, profile and all those things. But rule we can call in the profiles and all those things. If you see this profile, I could call the rules here, but I can't call the maplet to profile. And also other limitation is rule doesn't allow the active transformation. Now let's start the maplet. Just add the maplet input. Just input, maplet input. Here need to add a input port. Go to properties. If you go to properties, you can see this general, because this is the name. Ports, just I'm adding a port, one port. In customer tier, string 10. Okay, just I'm saving. I'm taking only one input, and I'm taking this input, and I will convert this input value into a valid value. Just I'm showing a rule. Don't bother about this, which transformation I am using. I will explain this transformation later. Add a transformation. Parser, token parser, finish. The parser. Don't worry about this parser transformation. In the next upcoming sessions, I will tell you this parsers. Port, to strategy.
Can we drag the transformation from the left side tab? It will show you transformation, right?
Which one? This is our one.
Yeah, or these are transformations, right?
Yes, these are the transformations. I am creating a map. I am creating a rule, but the rule also we can create through a maplet only.
Okay. So we can drag and drop those transformations also, right?
Yes, right.
So
We can drag and drop, and also because just a right click on add a transformation, and this is a way also we can add it. That is no problem.
yes.
Okay, parser transformation. Go to property. Once you in the workspace, whatever the transformation you selected, that is the active that the properties will appear in the downside, down the property pane. Strategies, just I'm creating the one strategy. Parser, customer time. Don't worry about this parser transformation now. I will, in the upcoming class we will discuss that. Reference table. Here I am using a reference table.
Okay.
Which reference table we want to use? Reference table, customer tag, profile result, valid customer tag, outputs, creating output, out customer tag, finish. Okay, I implemented a logic in the parser transformation, and I'm passing the maplet output. Okay, maplet output is a customer tire out. I'm adding. Yes. Arrange all iconic. Just validate this. Just go to right click on any empty workspace. Just validate. Maplet, no problems found. This is a maplet, but I want to create a rule. Just right click on the workspace. Here, are you able to see this option? Validate as. Validate as either you can maplet or rule. Now I want to validate as a rule. No problems found. Now it is converted as a rule. Earlier it was a maplet. Now it has a converted as a rule. You are clear, right? Okay. Now just let me show you. Suppose if I add any active transformation in the maplet. Suppose if I add any active transformation in the rule, add a transformation. Filter is an active transformation, right? Filter transformation or active arrange all iconic. Just let's try to validate as a rule. Invalid. See log more information. Because invalid. Because why? Because if you add any rule, any active transformation in the rule, you can't validate as a rule. Just a minute, Warren.
ఇప్పుడు రూల్ లో మ్యాప్లెట్ అండి, మ్యాప్లెట్ లో రూల్ అంతే కదా.
Okay, now let's see this, because if I add a active transformation in the rule, now just let me validate as a rule. Okay, this is the error. Instance filter cannot be used in a rule since it is active. So we can't use any active transformation in the rule. Let me remove this. Yes. And save, validate as a rule. Now no problems found. Okay, you can observe the in the rule in the maplets, all the rules and maplets will fall under this category, but you can see the difference. Rule is contain this icon, and maplet contains this icon. Let me switch to maplet. We can switch to rule to maplet and maplet to rule. That is no problem. Yes, now the maplet icon is this, and the rule is this. Let me validate as a rule. No problems found. Just I'm saving this. Yeah, I'm renaming this. Rename customer tab rule parse parse. Okay, just okay, renamed that. And I'm creating another rule for a country, because this will just parse the valid values, and the country rule will replace valid with the valid values. Let me show you that. Let me create a rule. New, go to maplet, It's a rule. Rule, country, replace, replace valid, replace valids. Okay, finish. Okay, take a input, maplet input. Okay, and take a parser transformation. Add a one port. See, country, in country. Just select the transformation and uncheck the properties, data viewer and progress and all those things. Data viewer and ports in the ports section, you can see, we can see the all the input output ports. Strategy, I'm creating a strategy. Don't bother about this now, don't bother about these strategies and all those things. Once we jump into parser transformation, I will tell you this. Parser parser country. Input is in country, and go to next. Reference table, replace matches with the valid values. Just select the training uh, country reference data. Table manual country, I'm using this manual country. Okay, output is creating a new output. Out country. Okay, finish. Add a output. Yes. Control S. Okay, now this is the maplet I'm validating as a rule. Okay, no problems found. Save. Now I converted this as a rule. This is the way of creating a rules. And let me show you this, how we use this in a mapping. Let me just go to training, new, mapping, just a mapping. Data stand, data standardize. Okay, let me take this. Source is a customer tire, not, sorry, not customer tire, all customers. Taking as a input read. And now let me reuse that rules. I want to rule customer tire parse. This is expecting one input, and output will give customer tire. And a country rule also replace a valids. This is a country. Now run this expression. This tool, IDQ tool, because it is a very flexible tool. This is only a single interface. We suppose if we want to debug instantly, we can debug the data. Now let's see this. Just right click on a run data viewer. Just let me just run data viewer. Click on run data viewer. At any point of any transformation, we can see the results in instantly. Yes, if you see this out customer tag, because this is the only, you can see only a valid values, no other values. This is what we implemented, right? In the rule, this is what we implemented. Now, did you got how the reference tables we used and how the rules we created? And if you take a country, all are out country. Sorry, what is this happen? And different values are. Sorry, let me check this rule. Country rule. Sorry, actually we didn't use this option.
దీంట్లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసేది కదా సోర్స్ నుంచి ఒక టార్గెట్ కి డేటా
Huh?
ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసి
Okay. At any point of time we can debug it, because if you see this, I made some mistake, because immediately it is showing, because it parsed only valid values. So what I did wrong is, because here I didn't select this replace option. Go to properties, edit. Yes, a replace option. I didn't select that replace option, so that's why I parsed only that values. Now now run this rule, run data viewer. Now only USA values has came, because what I select is, because all the incoming values wants to replace with a valid value. If you see this reference table, sorry, if you see this reference content, this is the valid value, these are all the possible values, input in incoming possible values. The same has done by rule, right? All the values will replace by USA, no other values. If we want to do a profiling, we can do a profiling at this point of time also. Let me close this. Let me show you profile on this. If we want to profile, we can profile on this also. This is called midstream profiling. If you see this results, out country, only distinct values are two distinct values, and this is a empty string, USA. All the rest are this one, and nulls and all those things all will converted as a empty string. This is the way of doing a midstream profiling. Now you are clear about this, right? Because of how the created rules and how we can use this rules in a mapping implementation, because rules already we created for a rule based profiling, that the same rules we can reuse in a mapping, right? In the IDQ tool, this is a very flexible tool. If you want to do debug at any point of time, just you go to right click and just click on a run data viewer. Yes, what are the values are not a valid values, that attribute, that record will replace with that with a empty string. Yes, this is about a rule creation and a reference table creation. You are clear, right?